Hey sports fans, Haroon Rashid, Khemeia Consulting, and welcome to Haroon's Hangout, the internationally featured show where we make digital marketing simple, straightforward, and fun. Today, social media tips for accountants, and this is just purely for accountants and accountancy firms. So maybe you have started your social media marketing and your digital marketing, but maybe you're stuck, and maybe you're a bit frustrated because you know it can generate leads, you know it can generate sales, but you just can't seem to get it working for your business. And maybe you just want to know, how can I use social media for my accountancy firm? How can I generate those leads and sales? Well, I'm going to show you how to do all of that right now in this episode. So, diving straight in, number one is set your goals. At Khemeia Consulting, we always start this, our marketing process, our training process, with this thing, and it's about setting goals. Rather than just hopping on Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn and all that stuff, you just have to take a step back. You guys are accountants, so you guys get this principle about what is your turnover going to be for the next few years, okay? What does that look like per quarter? What about per month? And if the business demands it, maybe per week or even per day or per hour. You need to break that down just so you know you have a goal to work towards, because social media marketing has to have a financial thing in mind. It has to be linked to your finances. Otherwise, you're just messing around on Facebook, and you don't want to be doing that. You guys want ROI, return on investment, not influence, return on investment. So once we have broken down, you know, what your monthly goals might be, financial monthly goals, sorry, you can then start to say, okay, well, from those goals, then, how much do I want to apportion to social media? So, for example, if your overheads are 10 grand, okay, a month, well, you might say, okay, well, I want to start to try and generate £500 from social media to start with, and then I want to increase it up to £1,000. So it just gives you a bit of a structure to work towards. Notice I haven't talked yet about which social media sites you're supposed to be using. The second thing will help you determine that, and that's creating what's called buyer personas. A normal marketing company might come up to you and say, who's your target market? And you'll say some information, and then they'll spit something back to you that says something like, your target market is a male aged between 25 and 35. Okay. What? How do I reach them? You're not any better off, are you? But if you know what motivates somebody to buy from you, i.e. creating a persona, you are much more likely going to be able to reach them online. Let me give you an example. You want to actually just create such a detailed picture of who that person is. Not just, you know, their age and, you know, where they live and what kind of car they drive. All those things can be useful, but it's why would they buy from you? What problems and needs are you solving? What are they struggling with? So it may be that, you know, one of your buyer personas could be a company who has had its first year in business, and maybe it's made a loss in the first year, so they know this business thing is hard. So now they've got some debt. Now they've got fees to pay. They are really, really worried now about, am I going to make a profit? How am I going to make a profit? What about this tax bill? The tax man's coming to get me, and all this kind of stuff. So there's a lot of language there that we can use which is based around fear and urgency. Now it might be different from another customer who may be established, and maybe they are 10 years plus. Maybe they've been going for 10 years plus. They're a medium-sized business. They're not really concerned with the same things as that other buyer persona that we mentioned, you know, the one who's just in its second year of business. Maybe the 10-year plus business is more about, okay, well, how can we grow now? How can we expand? How can we reach different markets? How can we, you know, reduce our tax now? Do you know what I mean? And it's very different messages. So the second buyer persona we're talking about is more about, you know, excitement, growth potential, and all that good stuff. Is very positive. So by creating these buyer personas, it will allow you to reach them. The biggest mistake that people do on social media is they do one generic message and they just hope it sticks. Generic messages do not work on social media. You want targeted messages for each buyer persona. You will speak to that a company that's in its second year of business a different way to the way you speak to a company that's been established for 10 plus years. Hope that makes sense. So once you've created all your buyer personas, you now know what kind of messaging you want to be saying to each of those categories. Now you just need to create content. People are after content that solves their problems and needs. Content is the fuel of social media. It's the thing that drives your social media forward. People will just say to me, just tell me how to use Facebook, Haroon. Just tell me how to use Facebook. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I can tell you how to use Facebook, but Monday morning, when you log on, it says update status. What are you going to put in there? Oh, right, now I get it. It's about, I need some content. Yes, you need some content, okay? But here's the thing. It's not just about creating any old crappy content. Anybody can write a blog post, and they do. Anybody can shoot a video, and they do. I mean, you've watched really rubbish videos, haven't you? Yes, we all have, okay? You've read really boring blog posts, haven't you? So actually, the thing is not just to create any old content. You have to create awesome, excellent content. Content that contrasts, content that stands out, content that is so good, so detailed, answers your customers' problems and needs in such a great way, in an interactive way online. Great content gets shared, okay? I've never seen a boring blog post or a boring video being shared online. Things that get shared on social media are excellent, they're funny, they're fun, they're thought-provoking, they are compelling, they are all those good things. So you have to have, you've got to just try and think of it a different way, rather than just doing a normal blog post and saying, yeah, we're an accountancy firm, we've been established for 30 years. It's more about, well, what is that? Let's take the buyer persona who was in their second year of business. It might be struggling to it might be struggling to generate your monthly overheads. How to do that, how to save tax in your second year of business, how to grow your business and become profitable in your second year of business. Those are very kind of, specific sort of content for that buyer persona. And this leads me on to my next point. You want to create specific content. Really, really specific content. The fact is that there are a lot of people out there, other accountancy firms, who are creating content. So what's going to differentiate you from everybody else? You might be an accountant in Bradford or Leeds, but how are you going to separate yourself from all the hundreds of accountancy firms that we can choose from? Maybe you just need to get really specific. Maybe you need to talk about how, printing companies can save money, how printing firms can save tax, how video production companies can do this, how solicitors firms can do this, how design agencies can do this. You get really, really specific. In fact, the Google Hangout you're watching right now is social media tips for accountants. I'm getting specific. I'm dealing with just you guys right now rather than generic tips for everybody. Okay? Specific content works. And then finally, once you've done all that, you will then be able to determine which social media sites you go on. So you get to pick your social media sites and be consistent. So for example, if you think, well, our buyer personas will really like video, well, YouTube is an obvious example. Okay, if it's mainly graphics that you're going to be doing, there could be some really cool graphics that you can create. Maybe it will be something like Pinterest or Instagram or Facebook. Okay, by doing all this systematically, you'll be able to just really streamline your social media marketing processes. You will have a better chance of generating those leads and sales online. Now, by using these techniques, I personally have generated over £150,000 worth of social media, £150,000 worth of leads in social media, and I did it for free. I didn't spend any money. All it required was to do things in a systematic way, to try something that's a bit different, to try and stand out from the crowd, and it seems to be working for us. So I hope you guys have found that useful. Remember, if you're an accountancy firm and you're in the Yorkshire area, maybe you're in Leeds or Bradford, we'd love to talk to you. We'd love to help you with your social media marketing. All of our contact details are below. Check out the show notes as well, where I'll be putting some more information in there, and you can go and get some more information. Now, Haroon's Hangout is a weekly Google Hangout that I do every Wednesday, 10 a.m. Greenwich Meridian time. And like I say, we make digital marketing simple, straightforward, and fun. I hope you found that useful, guys. And until next time, see you later, sports fans.